Everybody, this is David with Cartoon Fortress. Thanks for joining me on the channel today. And my friends, the time has come. I've received numerous requests in the comments to film a collection tour, and today is that day. I'm really happy to bring this to you. This is a look at my collection from A to Z. Now, one note that I did want to make, while this is everything that I do currently own, there are some key titles that are not in my collection that you might be thinking to yourself, and maybe you wouldn't, but you might be thinking to yourself, well, why wouldn't he have something like Back to the Future on his shelf? Well, many years back, I sold off my collection and I moved. It was when the digital craze kind of hit, and I decided to sell off some titles, and then obviously eventually I came back to physical media, and I'm here for life, I promise you. But there's going to be some titles missing in the physical collection that I do have digitally, but over time those holes will be filled. But anyways, that's just a side note. I'm really excited to show you the collection, and so let's go ahead and get to that now. Okay, so here is the entrance to the office. Right off the bat, we see this wonderful painting by my mother. She's a very talented artist, and she was kind enough to gift me this original that she painted years ago. So I wanted that to be the first thing you saw when coming in. And then you come into the office here. The walls right now are bare. There's going to be some really nice pieces going up very soon, so I'll have to feature those in a future video. Off to the left here, we have my closet. It's just got some knick-knack items and miscellaneous kind of extra film equipment and things like that. Eventually those doors will be pulled off, and there's going to be shelves built in there so that I can expand my collection. And then I've got my recliner here. This chair does not go at all in this office design-wise, but it's been in my family for many years, and it's just the chair that I have right now, so eventually that will be changed. And here I've always got a stack of books that I'm reading. Right now I'm reading up on the early career of Hayao Miyazaki, one of my all-time favorite directors, and it's a really good read, a lot of interviews. And then I've got my Apple Watch, my Kindle Oasis, which I also love reading books on, PlayStation 4 remote, retro gaming remote, or controller rather, and then some miscellaneous remotes there. Over here we have my Fugler reigning supreme on the top of the filing system there. My wife got me that for Christmas. And then I keep my art supplies over there, pens, pencils, markers, extra sketchbooks, all that stuff. And then I've got my headphones over there, got the Wally garbage can. My brother made this nightstand for me. He's a really awesome woodworker and made that for me. And then here we have my work slash creative setup. So I do my drawing at this table, and during the day I work from home full time, and so the Dell laptop there and the two monitors is my work setup. And then I use the MacBook Air for my personal projects. That's where I edit my YouTube videos and things like that. And then of course you have to have the retro 8-bit Mario and Wally here holding down the fort. And Wally is holding my Criterion channel charter subscriber card. So that was kind of a cool thing that Criterion sent out to the first subscribers to the Criterion channel, which has been going strong for over a year now. And then looking up here, we do have the film collection. I got these shelves at IKEA. These are the Billy bookshelves, and they filled up really well. Eventually these are going to go out, and I'm going to have shelving built into the walls here as well, just like in the closet. And then got another window there, so we get a lot of great natural light in here. And then got a little nightstand with some extra books there, and then the printer underneath. So So how I have my collection broken down is, well, there's a lot of different sections, but I've got the Walt Disney Treasures on top there, and then I have boutique label items going for most of the shelving on, in fact, all of the shelving on that first bookcase and the second bookcase. The third bookcase, we get into some Disney and anime and digibooks and things like that. And then we have kind of standard Blu-rays, Blu-ray box sets, DVD box sets, standard DVDs, and then my book collection. So what we're going to go ahead and do is just start over here and work our way over. I'm not going to be talking a whole ton about each individual title, but I can feature at a later time some more concentrated photos, maybe have a video on specifically on the Walt Disney Treasures, or maybe Criterion or Arrow or any one of those labels we can do more concentrated content on. But for now, let's go ahead and just look through the collection here. So on the top here, we have this really fun 90th anniversary Steamboat Willie plush, I guess you would call it, that I got at Target. And then we've got this Napoleon Dynamite piece. Now the interesting thing about this piece, I did this caricature of John Heder as Napoleon Dynamite, and I had the chance to go meet him, and I actually gave him the original piece, and I made a copy of that piece, and then he signed my art, which is really pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of Napoleon Dynamite, and then he also was nice enough to sign a screenplay of the film as well as my Blu-ray copy. So that was a lot of fun meeting him. He was a super nice guy. And then we have the Willy Wonka Warner Brothers set, as well as the Scooby-Doo Haunted House complete series set up there, which is a really fun one. Okay, so here's our first shelf, and as any movie collector should have, there's Leonard Maltin's movie guide and his classic movie guide. Anyone who knows me knows what a huge Leonard Maltin fan I am, and it's appropriate that his books are next to the Walt Disney Treasures collection, as he worked with Disney on these sets. He did the intros and provided commentary along the way with all these sets, so he put a tremendous amount of work into those, and so I had to have his books next to those sets. And I've got some other Leonard Maltin books in my collection, but I had to have those next to the Disney Treasures. So let's go ahead and look through these again. I'm not going to be talking a whole lot on any one thing. We'll just go ahead and show you what's in the collection. So Walt Disney Treasures, here we have all 30 sets. The first one is Behind the Scenes at the Walt Disney Studios. Davy Crockett, the complete televised series. Disney Rarities, celebrated shorts 1920s through the 1960s. Disneyland, Secrets, Stories, and Magic. Disneyland USA, special historical broadcasts. Dr. Sin, the Scarecrow of Romney Marsh. Elfego Baca and the Swamp Fox, Legendary Heroes. Mickey Mouse in Black and White, the Classic Collection. Mickey Mouse in Black and White, Volume 2, 1928 through 1935. Mickey Mouse in Living Color, a collection of color adventures. Mickey Mouse in Living Color, Volume 2, 1939 through today. More Silly Symphonies, Volume 2, 1929 through 1938. Silly Symphonies, the historical, musical, animated classics. The Adventures of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, The Adventures of Spin and Marty, the Mickey Mouse Club, The Chronological Donald, Volume 1, 1934 through 1941, The Chronological Donald, Volume 2, 1942 through 1946, The Chronological Donald, Volume 3, 1947 through 1950, The Chronological Donald, Volume 4, 1951 through 1961, The Complete Goofy, His Greatest Misadventures, The Complete Pluto, Volume 1, The Complete Pluto, Volume 2, 1947 through 1951, The Hardy Boys, the Mickey Mouse Club, 1956 through 1957, The Mickey Mouse Club, October 3rd, 1955 through October 7th, 1955, The Mickey Mouse Club presents Annette, 1957 through 1958 season, Tomorrowland, Disney in Space and Beyond, Walt Disney on the Front Lines, The War Years, Your Host, Walt Disney, TV Memories, 1956 through 1965, Zorro, the complete first season, 1957 through 1958, and last but not least, we have Zorro, the complete second season, 1958 through 1959. So that concludes the Walt Disney Treasures collection. Again, that is all 30 sets. There is a Walt Disney Legacy collection, which includes the True Life Adventures that Disney filmed in, I believe all those were in the 60s, if I remember. And I do plan on getting all 4 of those sets at some point as well. Moving down to the next shelf here, we have the start of the Criterion collection. So these are going to be the Criterion collection box sets, digipacks, those releases. So first up here, we have Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman. This is a 25 film collection. Next we have the Guillermo del Toro trilogy. This includes Kronos, The Devil's Backbone, and Pan's Labyrinth. And then I'll need to switch kind of to the other side here since the covers are on the other side. Here we have Billy Wilder's Ace in the Hole. The Apu trilogy. The Before trilogy. Bob Dylan, Don't Look Back. Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless. Che. The Complete Jacques Tati. The Complete Monterey Pop Festival. Dazed and Confused. Do the Right Thing. Eraserhead. Fantastic Mr. Fox. The Freshman. Godzilla. The Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. Il Sorpasso. It's a Mad, Mad, Mad Mad World, John Cassavetes' 5 films, King of the Hill, the Coker Trilogy, Lone Wolf and Cub, The Magnificent Ambersons, the Marseille Trilogy, oops, that one's actually on the other side. We have Moonrise Kingdom, The New World, Night of the Living Dead, On the Waterfront, another one where the cover's on the other side, Jackie Chan in Police Story and Police Story 2, the Kotze Trilogy. Down on the next shelf here, Red River, Sancho the Bailiff, Scanners, Seven Samurai, Showa, The Silence of the Lambs, Slacker, Sweet Smell of Success, The Tree of Life, True Stories, Ugetsu, Vampire, The Road Trilogy, Yojimbo and Sanjuro. And although this is not a Criterion box set, this is more acting as a bookend. This is the Alfred Hitchcock Masterpiece Collection. Also featured on this shelf, just as a nice showpiece, is the ESPN Films 30 for 30 5th Anniversary Collection that features the first 100 30 for 30 films. Going to the next shelf here, we move into some other boutique labels. The first is from Arrow Academy, and that is The Apartment. Now into Arrow Video, The Complete Sartana, Crimson Peak, Django, also featuring Texas Adios, Donnie Darko, Ringu Collection, RoboCop, Waterworld. Now we're into Eureka. This is from the Eureka Classics line. This is Cujo. And then moving into Eureka Masters of Cinema, The African Queen, Buster Keaton, The Complete Short Films, 1917 through 1923, High Noon, Fistful of Dynamite, aka Duck You Sucker, The Last Waltz. Now we're into Everything Blue. This is Boys in the Hood, King Kong from 2003, and Schindler's List. Now we're moving into the Powerhouse Indicator line with their limited edition box sets. Five Tales, Bud Boddicker and Randolph Scott at Columbia, 1957 through 1960. Hammer, Volume 1, Fear Warning. Hammer, Volume 2, Criminal Intent. Hammer, Volume 3, Blood and Terror. Hammer, Volume 4, Faces of Fear. Hammer, Volume 5, Death and Deceit. John Ford at Columbia, 1935 through 1958. Samuel Fuller at Columbia, 1937 through 1961. William Castle at Columbia, Volume 1. William Castle at Columbia, Volume 2. The Wonderful Worlds of Ray Harryhausen, Volume 1, 1955 through 1960. The Wonderful Worlds of Ray Harryhausen, Volume 2, 1961 through 1964. And Scum. So that concludes the Powerhouse Indicator line. Next up we have a few from Kino Lorber. First up we have A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. The Outer Limits, Season 1. And The Outer Limits, Season 2. Going down to the next row here, we have Scream Factory's Creep Show. Now we're into Second Sight films. We have The Amazing Mr. Blunden, Asylum, The Endless Summer, Flight of the Navigator, The House That Dripped Blood, In Bruges, Take Shelter, Under the Shadow, Upgrade, and finally a double feature of Willard and Ben. So that concludes the boutique label box sets. Now we're moving into the Criterion collection with their standard releases, although the first title here, which is The Princess Bride, is more of a digibook form. There's a storybook inside. Now moving into the standard releases, we have 12 Angry Men, 3:10 to Yuma, Anatomy of a Murder, The Asphalt Jungle, The Ballad of Giorgio Cortez, Bicycle Thieves, The Big Chill, Bigger Than Life, The Blob, Blood Simple, Blowout, Bottle Rocket, Boyhood, The Breakfast Club, Broadcast News, Camera Person, Carnival of Souls, Cat People, City Lights, Lady Snowblood, or rather the complete Lady Snowblood, which features Lady Snowblood and Lady Snowblood Love Song of Vengeance, Days of Heaven, Detour, Diabolique, Dragon Inn, Akira Kurosawa's Dreams, El Sur, Elevator to the Gallows, Eyes Without a Face, A Face in the Crowd, Festival, For All Mankind, Francis Ha, The Friends of Eddie Coyle, Ghost World, The Gold Rush, Good Morning, The Graduate, The Great Dictator, Hara-Kiri, Heaven's Gate, Hidden Fortress, High and Low, The Honeymoon Killers, Hoop Dreams, House or Hausu, Ikiru, In a Lonely Place, In Cold Blood, In the Heat of the Night. Inside Llewyn Davis, It Happened One Night, Kagemusha, The Kennedy Films of Robert Drew and Associates, Kez, The Kid Brother, The Killing, Kiss Me Deadly, Kiraneko, La Jetée and Sans Soleil, La Vérité, Late Spring, Love Streams, M, Matewan, A Matter of Life and Death, Mildred Pierce, Modern Times, Moonrise, My Darling Clementine, Night and the City, The Night of the Hunter, Notorious, Paris, Texas, A Raisin in the Sun, Rashomon, Rebecca, Repulsion, Rafifi, Rules of the Game, Rushmore, Safety Last, Seconds, Shock Corridor, Some Like It Hot, Something Wild, Speedy, The Squid and the Whale, Stagecoach, Stranger Than Paradise, The Sword of Doom, They Live by Night, The Thin Red Line, Three Outlaw Samurai, The Throne of Blood, or Throne of Blood, Tokyo Story, A Touch of Zen, Two Lane Blacktop, Umberto D, The Uninvited. Rounding out the Criterion Collection titles here, we have The Wages of Fear, When We Were Kings, Wings of Desire, Young Mr. Lincoln, and this is 100 Years of Olympic Films, 1912 through 2012. And the final Criterion set we have is Godzilla, the Showa era films, 1954 through 1975. Here we have The Big Bang Theory, the complete series. Now moving down, we have more boutique label titles. These are going to be standard releases, non-box set releases. We have the 101 Films Black Label Collection with Howard the Duck and Phase 4. Next up we have Arrow Academy with a single title here of The Far Country. Now moving into Arrow Video, Children of the Corn, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, 16 Candles, Weird Science, Pit Stop, Sister Street Fighter Collection. Now we're moving into the Powerhouse Indicator limited edition sets that are in standard cases. First up we have Berserk, The Pumpkin Eater, The Reckless Moment, Time Without Pity, To Sir with Love, and The Wild One. Next up we have more indicators, but these are standard non-limited edition releases. 10 Rillington Place, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, Christine, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, and finally Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. Next up we're moving into Kino Lorber. Here we have Metropolis as presented by Giorgio Moroder, The Covered Wagon, Evil Eye plus The Girl Who Knew Too Much, Roy Colt and Winchester Jack, The Pink Panther Cartoon Collection, Volume 1, The Pink Panther Cartoon Collection, Volume 2, The Pink Panther Cartoon Collection, Volume 3, The Pink Panther Cartoon Collection, Volume 4, The Pink Panther Cartoon Collection, Volume 5, The Pink Panther Cartoon Collection, Volume 6, Bend of the River, Canyon Passage, Charlie Varick, Cover Up, The Crooked Way, Deadline USA, Dinosaurus, A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, The Gun Runners, High Ballin', Kill Them All and Come Back Alone, The Long Goodbye, Man with the Gun, Mirage, Night Passage, The Oxbow Incident, The Pit, Pitfall, Prime Cut, The Psychopath, The Quatermass Experiment, The Rare Breed, Raw Hide. Continuing on Kino Lorber, Space Camp, The Spiral Staircase, double feature of Thunderbirds Are Go and Thunderbirds 6, Tough Turf, Vigilante Force, White Lightning. Now moving into Mill Creek, All the Pretty Horses, double feature of The Contractor and The Fan, Heroes, Noir Archive Collection Volume 1, Noir Archive Collection Volume 2, Noir Archive Collection Volume 3, Trapped. Now we're into the Mill Creek Retro VHS slipcover editions. Happy Birthday to Me, Hudson Hawk, Last Action Hero, The New Kids, No Mercy, Opportunity Knocks, True Believer, Vibes, When a Stranger Calls, White Line Fever. Now we're into the Mill Creek Steelbooks. Lonesome Dove, Mothra, Ultra Q, Ultra Man, Next up, we have one single release from the MVD Rewind collection, and that is The Point. Now we have one release from Scorpion releasing, which is Grizzly. Now we're into the Scream Factory slipcover editions with Halloween 2, Misery, and Night of the Creeps. Now we're into Shout Factory and Scream Factory Steelbooks with Dances with Wolves, The Thing, and The Transformers, the movie. Here we have a Second Sight standard release of Magic. Now we're into Shout Select with the Street Fighter collection, The Wizard, and Matinee. Next up we have Vinegar Syndrome with Tammy and the T-Rex. Next up is Warner Archive, Bad Ronald, The Jetsons, the complete original series, Johnny Quest, the complete original series, Popeye the Sailor, the 1940s Volume 1, Popeye the Sailor, the 1940s Volume 2, Popeye the Sailor, the 1940s Volume 3, The Setup, Shazam, the complete live-action series, Tex Avery Screwball Classics Volume 1, Tom and Jerry Golden Collection Volume 1, Wait Until Dark, and again acting as a kind of a bookend here, we have the Lord of the Rings Extended Edition Trilogy box set. And on the bottom shelf here we have Anne of Green Gables, the limited edition Blu-ray collector's set. Moving to the top of the shelves here, we have The Goonies. Next we have The Twilight Zone, seasons 1 through 5. Here we have season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, and finally season 5. And I do have that complete with the Twilight Zone Companion, second edition by Mark Scott Zachary. Next up we have Star Wars, the complete saga, Steven Spielberg Director's Collection, Night of the Living Dead 50th Anniversary Collector's Edition, the Ultimate Fan box set. Moving up here we have Mario and Kirby with the NES Classic Edition and SNES Classic Edition boxes. Here we have The Far Side, the complete set, hardcover book set. And then moving over to show you really quickly some of the equipment that I have here. I do have a PlayStation 4. And then on top here, this is a Raspberry Pi featuring, I believe it's about 7,000 ROM files of classic games. And this is called the Simosis 7000. Here's my Apple TV, and finally my region-free Sony Blu-ray player. Moving back to the movie collection here, we have Disney Blu-ray, So these are editions with slip covers. First up we have Dick Tracy, Frankenweenie, Tron, the original classic, Tron Legacy, and the 25th anniversary edition of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Next up we have the Disney Movie Club Blu-ray exclusives. We have 5 titles here with slipcovers. The Apple Dumpling Gang, The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, Herbie Rides Again, The Love Bug, Old Yeller. Now we're still in the exclusives, just without slipcovers. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, The Absent-Minded Professor, Blackbeard's Ghost, The Boatniks, Cool Runnings, D2 The Mighty Ducks, D3 The Mighty Ducks, Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier, and a double feature with Davy Crockett and the River Pirates, Escape to Witch Mountain, Freaky Friday, George of the Jungle, A Goofy Movie, Holes, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, Herbie Goes Bananas, Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. In fact, that should be next to Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. In Search of the Castaways, The Journey of Natty Gann, Jungle to Jungle, The Mighty Ducks, Monkeys Go Home, The Parent Trap, the original, Pollyanna, Return from Witch Mountain, Rocket Man, Saludos Amigos and the Three Caballeros, The Scarecrow of Romney Marsh, Son of Flubber, The Strongest Man in the World, Swiss Family Robinson, Treasure Island, and again another bookend here. We have Adventure Time Postcard Library. All right, moving down to the next shelf, we have more Disney content. These are, first off, the Walt Disney the Walt Disney Signature Collection Target exclusive digibooks. First up, we have Bambi, Beauty and the Beast, Lady and the Tramp, The Lion King, Pinocchio, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Continuing with the Disney titles, we have the Target exclusive Signature Collection Gallery Book editions with 101 Dalmatians, Aladdin, Cinderella, The Little Mermaid, Peter Pan, Sleeping Beauty, Frozen 2, Hocus Pocus, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Ralph Breaks the Internet, The Incredibles 2, or Incredibles 2, Toy Story 4, and then here we have the Blu-ray complete series box set edition of Samurai Jack, and also the deluxe limited edition set for Batman the Animated Series. Moving down to some more digibooks, we have Alien Covenant, All the President's Men, Blomkamp 3 with District 9, Chappie, and Elysium, The Dark Crystal, Dirty Harry, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, The Exorcist, Fraggle Rock, the complete series 35th Anniversary Collector's Edition, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, The Green Mile, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner 50th Anniversary Edition, Halloween 35th Anniversary Edition, Jaws, King Kong, Labyrinth, Logan, The Matrix, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Poltergeist, The Right Stuff, The Shawshank Redemption, 16 Candles, The Sting, 10 Commandments, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Town, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Ford v Ferrari, and again, acting as a bookend here, we have The Hobbit motion picture trilogy, the extended editions. Next up, we have the Target exclusives for Stranger Things. We have Stranger Things, the first season, Blu-ray DVD combo, and then Stranger Things, the first season, Blu-ray 4K combo. And then we have Stranger Things 2, Blu-ray and DVD combo, and finally Stranger Things 2, Blu-ray 4K combo. Right, moving down to the bottom shelf here, we have some G-Kids limited edition box sets. So this is my anime collection, starting with My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away. Getting into a few DVD sets here, we have Dragon Ball Season 1 and Dragon Ball Season 2, Robotech, the complete set, Pokemon Indigo League Season 1 Champions Edition. And then we have a few anime steelbooks. First up, we have Akira, Cowboy Bebop, the movie, Ghost in the Shell, next up we have Cowboy Bebop, the complete series, Dragon Ball Z Season 1, Dragon Ball Z Season 2, Dragon Ball Z Season 3, Dragon Ball Z Season 4, Dragon Ball Z Season 5, Dragon Ball Z Season 6, Dragon Ball Z Season 7, Dragon Ball Z Season 8, and finally Dragon Ball Z Season 9. Samurai Champloo, the complete series. Speed Racer, the complete series. Your Name. Grave of the Fireflies. Moving into the G-Kids releases, we have The Breadwinner, From Up on Poppy Hill, My Neighbors, the Yamadas, Ocean Waves, Only Yesterday, Perfect Blue, The Secret World of Arrietty, The Princess Kaguya, Tales from Earthsea, When Marnie Was There, and finally we have the collected works of Hayao Miyazaki, which I believe was an Amazon exclusive. All right, and moving on to the last bookcase here. On top we have Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, the complete manga, as well as the Iron Giant Warner Brothers limited edition set, box set, and then some knickknacks on top. Moving to the 4K, a few 4K titles here. First up we have 2001: A Space Odyssey, Blade Runner, and Blade Runner 2049. Moving into Blu-ray small box sets, we have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Gone Girl, The Marx Brothers Silver Screen Collection, Peanuts Holiday Collection Special Edition, Rocky Heavyweight Collection, Room 237, The Social Network, the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, A Christmas Story, Dr. Sleep, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Friday the 13th 8-movie collection, The Lighthouse, Napoleon Dynamite, Christmas Vacation, the new Scooby-Doo movies, the Almost Complete Collection, the original Christmas Specials Collection, Paranormal Activity 6-movie collection, Snoopy Come Home, The Terminator, Uncut Gems, Better Off Dead, A Boy Named Charlie Brown, Dark Star, The Haunting, It's Such a Beautiful Day, Jaws 2, Jaws 3, Scream 5 film set, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Thunder Road, Thunderbirds, the complete series, What's Up, Doc? Now we're moving into Steelbooks. Here we have Drive, Grindhouse, double feature with Planet Terror and Death Proof, The Last Samurai, Rock and Roll High School, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, The Shining, Spaceballs, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Super 8, Train to Busan, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and finally on this top shelf we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 movie set. Next up we have Blu-ray box sets. Starting out here with OJ, Made in America. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The African Queen. Alien Anthology. Argo. Avatar. Band of Brothers, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Die Hard 25th Anniversary Blu-ray Collection, Firefly 15th Anniversary Collector's Edition, Gravity Falls, the complete series, Indiana Jones, The Complete Adventures, John Adams, Jurassic Park, 25th Anniversary Collection, The King of Queens, The Complete Series, Laugh It Up Fuzzball, The Family Guy Trilogy, The Pacific, Planet Earth 6-disc Special Edition, Star Wars The Force Awakens 3D, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 40th Anniversary Collector's Edition, Ultimate Collector's Edition of The Town, The Ultimate Matrix Collection, and finally Universal Classic Monsters, the Essential Collection. Moving on, we're into DVD box sets. First up, we have The Adventures of Pete and Pete, Season 1, Beavis and Butthead, The Mike Judge Collection, Volume 1, Beavis and Butthead, The Mike Judge Collection, Volume 2, Beavis and Butthead, The Mike Judge Collection, Volume 3, Hey Arnold, The Complete Series, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, The Complete Original Series, The Office Special Edition 10th Anniversary Edition. Ren and Stimpy, The Ren and Stimpy Show, Uncut, the first and second seasons. The Ren and Stimpy Show, seasons 3.5-ish. The Ren and Stimpy Show, season 5 and some more of 4. Richard Dutcher Collection. Sesame Street Old School, 1969 through 1974, Volume 1. Sesame Street Old School, 1974 through 1979, Volume 2. Sesame Street Old School, 1979 through 1984, Volume 3. Thundercats, the complete series. The Transformers, the complete original series. Ultimate Jordan, 20th Anniversary Collector's Edition. Voltron, Defender of the Universe, the complete original series. Ben Wagner. Now we're into standard DVDs, I should say. Benji, 4-movie collection. The Brave Little Toaster. Dennis the Menace, Lights, Camera, Menace. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, 2-volume collection. Doug, the complete Nickelodeon series. DuckTales, the classic series, 70 episodes plus movie. DuckTales Volume 4. The Goof Troop, 2-volume collection. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Looney Tunes Golden Collection, Volume 1. Looney Tunes Golden Collection, Volume 2. Looney Tunes Golden Collection, Volume 4. Looney Tunes Golden Collection, Volume 5. Or, excuse me, that's Volume 4. Looney Tunes Golden Collection, Volume 5. Looney Tunes Golden Collection, Volume 6. Mr. Bean, The Whole Bean. The Muppet Show, Season 1. The Muppet Show, Season 2. The Muppet Show, Season 3. The Mysterious Cities of Gold, the complete series. On Our Own. Paddington Bear Collector's Edition. Rocko's Modern Life, the complete series. Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends, Season 1. Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends, Season 2. Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends, Season 3. Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends, Season 4. Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends, Season 5. Rugrats, Season 1. Rugrats, Season 2. Rugrats, Season 3. The Snowman. Star Wars Clone Wars, Volume 1. Star Wars Clone Wars, Volume 2. Star Wars Ewok Adventures, Caravan of Courage, and the Battle for Endor. Swiss Family Robinson. Top Secret. Travis, The True Story of Travis Walton, Treasure of Matecumbe, The Wonder Years Season 1, The Wonder Years Season 2, The Wonder Years Season 3, The Wonder Years Season 4, The Wonder Years Season 5, The Wonder Years Season 6, and our last bookend here, we have the collector's edition of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Here's a stack of PlayStation 4 games that I own and am currently playing through. We've got Resident Evil 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, Rayman Legends, NBA 2K20, The Last of Us Remastered, and finally Sonic Mania Plus. Alright, moving down, I'm not going to call out all of these titles, but this is my book collection. So first up here we have some art books. By the first section there is by the great Jake Parker. If you aren't familiar with his art, I would highly suggest looking him up. His website is mrjakeparker.com. He has fantastic work. And then we have books from Creature Box. Also, I would recommend looking them up. And then we have my film book collection, some classic Hardy Boys. We have The Shining and To Kill a Mockingbird as well. A nice Napoleon Dynamite figure there. And then down here we have some Disney history books, some art reference books, and then on the bottom shelf there we have one of my favorite possessions, the complete Calvin and Hobbes hardbound or hardcover edition, and then again some more film art books. And on the very end there we have the art of Metal Gear Solid. Of Metal Gear. Okay, and then one final note, the TV that I'm currently watching movies on, I've had this TV actually for about 12 or 13 years, I'd say. This is a Vizio 42-inch TV. I will eventually upgrade that to something bigger, but it is still going strong, so I'm still using that. So that is the collection. So again, looking over it here, these are the Billy bookshelves from IKEA. If you're interested, you can go to their site and just look up Billy bookshelves. That's Billy. And they have them in white, brown, and black, if that's something that you're interested in. My friends, as always, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to come by the channel and watch this video. I do appreciate it. If you would like to leave a comment on any section of the collection that you'd like to have more information on, definitely do that. As I stated, I will be doing some in-depth looks at certain parts of the collection. I might do some videos like a Criterion recommendations video or something of that nature, but if there's something that you would like to see specifically, definitely let me know and I will do my best to deliver on that request. But if you found this video helpful, if you're new to the channel and haven't had the opportunity to subscribe, I invite you to do so. Also hit that like button, and lastly hit the bell icon so that you are notified when I do upload new content. I sincerely appreciate it. We're building a great little community here, and we're coming up on 500 subscribers here before too long, and at which point I will be doing my second giveaway. We did one a while back, but this will be the second giveaway on the channel, and that will happen once we do reach 500 subscribers. So stay tuned for that announcement when that time comes, and until next time, this is David signing off with Cartoon Fortress, and I hope you have an awesome day.